Hey, Marianne. Hey, everybody. It's Marianne, and we are 5150. Rexy's here now, too. And we've got a very special guest today. We have Bill Hale, world famous photographer. We have been friends for 20 years, but we have never actually spoken. So this is going to be fun. Bill has a documentary that he's working on right now called, what's it called?
Go ahead. F8 and Be There, The Life and Photographs of Charles Fields.
Right. And I showed an update on that yesterday so everybody could look at the trailers. We're going to show trailer number 2 today after we have some fun with Bill. And Bill's going to tell us all about it. Now, where do you want to start, Bill? Do you want to start with the documentary first? Or do you want to talk about the photographs that you've taken over the years?
Let's do the photographs first.
Okay. So Bill, of course, is a world famous photographer that a lot of people might not know who he is, but I do. And I actually met Bill through his former wife, Terry. I was starting the Megadeth book, and she hit me up and said, hey, he's got some photographs. And nobody had seen these photographs, really, had they, Bill?
No. There was a couple published in my magazine called Metal Rendezvous, but that was in the 80s.
Right.
And I just kept everything to myself after the magazine went away.
So. Right. And that it's just great. Like if you're a collector, especially, say hi to Rex. Rex is there. You can't see her, but Rexy, say hi.
Hi, how you doing?
It's kind of cold in Cape Cod. It's like 71 degrees, which is kind of neat because I've come accustomed to it. Coming from Honolulu, it's always 80.
I know. I couldn't believe it. How long have you lived in Cape Cod now?
No, I've been here since the end of April.
Okay.
This is my third trip here. I'm still based out of Honolulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, yeah, but I can't imagine you wanting to move from Hawaii. That doesn't make any sense.
No, but the really quick, the place I'm in, the Charles's house, it's really big, and it's become a sanctuary for me. It's super
cool.
quiet. It's super quiet. It's miles away from everything, so there's no temptation because I have a studio downtown Honolulu. And my 2 favorite bars are just like blocks away. My gallery show is at the Nighthawk, 12 King Street. And, it's like 3 blocks away. Then my buddy Andy has a bar called Proof, where all these great bands play. And it's like literally a block and a half away.
And
no.
You're living like I did when I was in Northern Ontario, because there was I could hear cars coming. It was so peaceful, right on the water. Yeah. It makes all the difference in the world. Okay, so I just show the covers of your books first. The first book that Bill did. Now, did you do Megadeth or Metallica first?
Metallica first.
Okay, so the Metallica Club Days book is here, and this book has been. How long has it been out now? About a decade?
Yeah, actually about 15 years, maybe. It came out in 2009. It came out.
Oh wow! Dude, time flies, eh? I can't believe how. Yeah. Fury hit me up in 2006. So that's how long we've known each other. So it's crazy. Yeah. So this book here you can get on Amazon. It is $21.99 American and easy. I think it's $21.99 Canadian actually. So probably about $17.99 American. And yeah, it's got some great photographs in it, which we'll show in a second. And
I gotta say really quick, because what happens with this book, it puts Dave Mustaine in the proper light of Metallica. Because everybody thought he was in Drunk and Gone, but no, Dave was a major force. And I was really good friends with Dave for a long time. And this actually shows him in the process. He's with McGovern, he's with Cliff. And then those are really kind of amazing photographs because nobody has those. Even Brian, what's his name, or Harold, what's his name? Sorry.
Yeah, Harold, that's right. And that's the thing is we're very pro Megadeth here because we've seen the same thing over the years where we just haven't seen enough appreciation of Dave. And too many people think that he really didn't do anything when really, if it wasn't for him, he's the foundation. Like he definitely was a big foundation part of Metallica. And Megadeth,
he invented thrash guitar. He was a thrash guitar. And at the point I knew him, the first time I saw them, James just played guitar and sang, finally for that time. And then when Dave left, James's game had to be elevated by a million miles because Dave's the one to talk with his songs. Dave come up with the rips. Dave.
Yeah. Well, you're in the right place because that's exactly how we feel. Everything that we do, we're sort of pro Dave on everything. And especially with this other book coming out, and Bill also did some pictures as not only in this book, but this book is out of print. You were talking about this today. This is his Megadeth book. It has a foreword with Dave Mustaine that Dave Mustaine did for him, which is great. And now this one is out of print. You said that MTV screwed up or something?
Of course, MTV screwed up. MTV, they pay me a bunch of money, and then they didn't. So this is like 2012, I believe, and they have Viacom, which that's their parent company, but they have all these networks they can put it. So I got one 15-second ad on MTV2 at 2:00 in the morning, and it was kind of stupid, but they paid me money. I don't give a fucking shit. It's a beautiful book, and I got to work with a great editor on this one, and it just came with great ideas, and it was easy. The Canadian one, sorry Canadians,
That's me.
ECW was great, but I had to educate their staff on the protocol of Metallica, because there's things you do. James is always in the front, Lars is always in the back, and then I had to explain everything, like what's a heavy metal vest, what's this, what's that, and so I'm on the phone with these poor editors in Canada, just going crazy. But it turned out to be good. It got a lot of traction. I was actually the most interviewed rock photographer for until 2014. I mean, my phone is ringing. You couldn't open the internet without seeing Bill Hale, Bill Hale, Bill Hale.
Yeah, I see all over pictures when I used to, in my younger years, when I used to buy like magazines and everything. I used to see Hale always mentioned around the photographs. I used to always wonder about who's this Hale guy? I mean, he's got all these pictures.
And the cool thing, so I have he passed away. Bob Nalbady. I've never met Bob. Bob was like the glue that kept everybody together. And so I didn't have to talk to me. I talked to Bob, and Bob would say, well, Dave said hi, or whoever said hi. And so I got to work with him. And then when they're doing their book, Dave's book and my book about the same time. And I said, okay, you can write the forward, and I'll give you whatever you want for your book. I ended up having 25 photographs in the Megadeth book.
Yeah, the memoir, the Dave Mustaine memoir.
Yeah. So that was cool.
Great book. And then now, did you add any to the next one, In My Darkest Hour?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's sort of about his cancer journey, I think.
It's about the cancer, yeah, which is kind of the way he got. It was pretty fucked up, all that before he got really serious. The dentist sent him to a specialist laughing at him, and poor guy, Dave's gone through so much shit. And then to sit in his little car and being starting to cry. He couldn't even talk to his wife yet because he had to process this. Yeah. But he's bad. Fucking bad.
He's such a sweet guy. That's the thing. People don't realize what a good person he is, and how emotional he is. He showed that multiple times with Metallica, trying to make amends basically to the public. And you just don't see that, I think he's a really good person. So, I mean, I know all about his Christmas. Do you know about what he did at Christmas time with Pam? They used to get an entire slot of children's toys, tens of thousands of dollars worth of children's toys, and just donate them and not tell anybody. And you just don't hear that about Dave. Everybody wants him to be the bad guy, when meanwhile he's the most generous, sweetest guy you could ever meet, right?
Yeah, he's really cool. I haven't talked to him in a bit, but every once in a while someone says, "Hey, Dave says hi."
Nice. Yeah, I wish he'd do that for me, but he hasn't said it to me yet. Okay, all right. So shall we start with the Metallica ones then?
Yeah. Anything.
Okay, so let's start with these. Bill sent me a few. Rexy picked a few. So here's one. Tell us all about this. Is Dave, this is Ron McGovney even.
Yeah, Ron hates his photograph. Dave spilled beer on his pants, and he always thought this is the backstage of the old Waldorf.
Yes, he did. Look at that.
Yeah, this is backstage of the old Waldorf. KJ Dowden's magazine Northwest Metal is in Lars's mouth, and Lars has the Coke, and of course the other two guys have the beer.
Right. Yeah, well, we know that. Lars has more than that, just kind of Coke too. Anyways,
that's a long way before that, because
definitely
they were peppermint schnapps for a long time until the money came in.
It's a prelude. Well, didn't he? From what I heard. Now here's another picture. We'll get this. This one's a cliff. I like this one. This one. Oh, sorry, didn't come in. There we go. Hold on a second. Give me a sec here. My technical skills. I can't be everything to everyone, right? So I get it's a little bit of this and that.
You're an Aquarius, right?
Pardon me?
You're Aquarius, right?
That's right. Just like you.
Yeah.
And Rexy actually is an Aquarius as well. And her birthday is the day before mine.
Okay.
So we are having an Aquarius moment. And of course, our favorite Aquarius, besides Eddie Van Halen, is Cliff Burton. So you heard his sister passed away yesterday, 2 days ago?
Yeah, she's had health troubles for a long time. We haven't talked in a while. Once a long time ago, we would text each other back and forth, but It was just one of those things. This was supposed to be. I love this shot, but it was supposed to, they wanted us to cover for the book, and I said you can't put Cliff on the cover. It has to be Jay. This is the first show in San Francisco with Kurt Hammett. I had to.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to go see the band because I was already strained for them. I didn't need Metallica in my life at this point. I was bigger than Metallica, and blah blah blah, and I didn't need to have them. But Kirk and I were good friends for a long time, and I felt the need to go see, Hammett and Metallica. So
sure.
That's at the Stone in late '83.
Okay, and here's the next one. This is another one of Cliff. Here we go. Can you see that? Yeah. This is the first photograph before he jumps on stage, just before this. And we're talking. I've known Cliff forever by this time. And we were just talking. And it's okay. Click, click, click. And the next shot, Dave comes in. It's like, here's my buddy. And so, but yeah. So what was Cliff like? What was, if you had to describe him a little bit? Because I know there's a lot of people out there that are always very curious about him. What would you say about him?
He was a great guy. We were great friends until Ride to Lightning. And he goes, hey, Bill, come to Europe with us. I said, I can't. I have a magazine to run. It's like, what do you mean? Just drop everything. I said, I can't drop everything to hang out with you. And then we had it's like brother feud. And he would I'd be photographing in the pit and bam, he would hit me in the back. For a long time. And then I'm photographing, Megadeth was opening up for King Diamond. And so I needed to get shots of the original lineup. And I told the security guy, don't let Cliff back here. And so we got the session done. And then I went to talk to Ole and King Diamond, the next dressing room. And here comes Cliff and go, fuck. And he gives me a big bear hug. And he's like, and him and Dave haven't seen each other until the breakup, right? So they're talking. I try to, I took one step and I'm trying to be cool about everything. And then he gives me a big bear hug and says, how you doing? And then 2 weeks later, he died.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm driving down with Stradowski and I said, we're going home. And I said, dude, Cliff was in a good mood lately, and And then 2 weeks later, I see Megadeth open up for Motorhead. And so I go back to talk to Dave and I go past security. And then Lars and James show up and they said, no, Dave doesn't want you back here. Bam.
Wow.
And that's the beginning of the riff.
Well, he's a diva. People are starting to realize that now, what a diva James is.
Well, but what really happened was when everybody leaves James, his mom left him, his dad left him, and then he finds a musical equal in Cliff, and then Cliff leaves him, and then he goes so dark after that. You can just, for 20 years, he's just mean, and he's better now. He's
still mean.
No, he's better now. I've seen clips and stuff like that. And, he's with the fans finally again. The whole stage setup, they're right there. They walk in. So he's come to terms with all this. When you're 60 or whatever, you have to get rid of all those issues or else it's going to eat your life. This is iced tea.
I know. Me, coconut water. But today it's pulp because it's you. So I'm living on the edge. So, I quit drinking when I was in 2018, I had my last beer and I just... Don't miss it. Don't miss it one baby bit. And I think it's just because now I'm accountable. Now everybody's in trouble because I'm accountable. So, all right. So the next one, here's Cliff and James, since we're doing this. And here we go. That's another crazy.
This
is that the one?
Feud. Yeah, this is during the feud. This is the place called Wolfgang's, Bill Graham's club. I think either Loudness or Wasp is playing. And I turn around and Jay goes, you want to take a picture? I said, sure.
Yeah, so they give you this.
yeah.
So, wow.
Because they were best friends, and then Cliff dies, and that's when James's whole psychosis went to the edge. It was horrible. The poor guy for a long time, and then they beat the shit out of Jason.
Well, Aquariuses and Leos, when they work together, they can be the best. Yeah. And when they don't work together, they implode. So, and that's sort of it. And hold on a second, let me get this. So I got a stage one here. Let me just grab it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so where's this one?
This is the old Waldorf. This is the first show of the old Waldorf. And Brian Lou is there someplace. Actually, Cliff's behind. Lars in his spandex.
Oh, that's a Silver Pants night. Oh my God.
Yes,
There's another.
We had those forever. And then I would go to their house and it'd be crusty. It'd be on the shower rod because. And then Rich Birch is behind him, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's too funny. These are great photographs.
They destroyed everything. Waldorf was a Bill Graham's club, very respect. Everybody had to play there. Bruce Springsteen, U2, Judas Priest, everybody. So Metallica plays there. The first thing James does, gets a pitcher of beer and pours it over the monitor. And I said, okay, everything's different now.
What a guy. All right, we'll do Dave Mustaine next, and then we'll get into the other pictures. So here we go. We're going to start with this one, which, of course, is a classic and was in Dave Mustaine's memoir.
I had to break him in. So my photograph of Dave, he learned how to pose, and he just, this is one shot, because all I could take is one shot of Dave, because he would like, yeah. So he's snarling as usual. It's kind of set up, one flash, poof, with there.
And that's what you got.
Yeah, this is at the Stone. I think they're opening, or Overkill's opening for them.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, Rexy's like really good. Like she's really well versed in all these different bands. Whereas, you know me, I'm just sort of, okay, so this is the one that Rexy picked today just out of the blue. And I said, I think that's Bill's photograph. And it is.
It's from, it's the first time I saw him in October 82 at the Stone. And this is from the book. There's no copyright on it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful. Well, Bill takes great photographs. That's one thing. He does good photos, and he's going to make a great documentary as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, this is your first documentary, am I right?
Yes, and I waited a long time. Oh, that's a Leo Waldorf too.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to. The rule number would be a photographer is people do what the opposite people are doing. So if I'm side the stage, Dave is laughing at me half the time, and then that's that's cool.
Yeah.
Look at his hair.
I love his hair, but I love the bullet belts. The bullet belts are my favorite.
Everybody loves that bullet belt.
I think everybody he just took everybody's bullet belt. They take everybody's Marshalls,
All right, so here's the last one of Dave that we have today. This one you picked.
Yeah, that's Harold.
Was that Harold? Okay.
Yeah. That's the old Waldorf too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, so then we're going to move on to some other bands that you've got here, and then we're going to talk about your documentary. Okay, so first we're going to go, let's go with Slayer. Here's oh, wait, that didn't go in. Hold on, here we go. Slayer. This is an old one, too. Oh, for heaven's sake, why isn't it working?
Slayer.
Yeah, who doesn't like Slayer? Hold on a second, let me just get this.
Oh, Hanneman and all that, yeah.
Yeah, look at this one. There we go. Yeah. That's a classic. Carrie King with hair.
Yeah, this is a place called Old Musical. It's in Monterey. My editor John would put on shows. It was Slayer, Death Angel, and Hyrax. Andy from Death Angel is 12 years old, and so I'm stinking drunk. And as I'm photographed, I'm sliding down. As I slide down, they're following me. Yeah, Carrie, that's a great shot.
Good times. Yeah, well, and they're such great guys. So anything good to say about Slayer? Well, I guess we missed Jeff. Was Jeff cool?
He just always, I talked to him once in 10 years or whatever, because he sees me, he would run. He didn't want to
he's another Aquarius. You should have told him you were an Aquarius. Maybe it would have been nice to you.
But that show, Tom and I had a big discussion about thrash metal, and of course he wins because but that was funny. Yeah. The scary thing about Slayer towards the end of my 87-ish, whatever, he would show up with a teacher saying sex, murder, art. And then that was one of those things where Dave understood. You tell anybody, they would do anything you want them to do. And Tom finally figured that out too. Those are scary shows. They'd play a theater, and if you wanted to say kill that fucker, they would kill him. That's how powerful Slayer was before his back threw out and all that stuff. But anyway.
Well, yeah, no, but and they're still they're going to do. Aren't they doing a couple shows this year as well? Here's Y&T.
Yeah, this is the old.
Oh, Y&T.
Yeah, this is the old Waldorf. The Y&T was the only California band there is. They would be welcomed at the Starwood in LA or old Waldorf. They were the great band. They were like everybody opened for them, and they opened for everybody. Van Halen opened for them, and then they headlined with they were just band. Joey was a great guy. I talked to Joey and Leonard forever before they passed away. I'm just happy for Dave. Dave is still doing it, and so
Yeah,
they're a little underrated. You know, they're like
a lot.
Yes, definitely.
You know, a lot of people don't talk about them, but when I first heard Mean Streak, way back, I can't even remember how far back. It was obviously like early '80s. I thought they were a really pretty good band. I was like, that was pretty fucking cool shit.
Yeah, but they started following trends. Instead of staying to their guns, they started the hair and all that shit like that.
Oh yeah, California was it?
Yeah, because the '80s ruined everything. Drummers didn't graduate from the '80s because all of a sudden you have producers want everything on a click track, and so people like Cozy Powell or some other guys did all the drum parts for everybody. You know,
like Tommy Aldrich, right?
Yeah, even before Tommy, it was Cozy and a couple of people. Cinderella, it wasn't. You know, even Hole had metal drummers doing stuff, and so and then all of a sudden, people wanted to chase after the dollar sign. So you had Saxon coming in, yay! But all 3 years later, Biff's blonde and all that shit. So towards the end of the '80s, kind of, I mean, they killed themselves. It wasn't grunge. They ate themselves alive.
Yeah, they kind of, I think a lot of them wanted to go solo too, and so that does not. So here's one of Gar Samuelson, speaking to drummers. What's this one?
That's at the old Waldorf. And Gar was like your crazy cousin who always gave you wedgies. And he was crazy. You didn't know what he was going to do next. And so, and that's actually Chris Poland's shirt.
God, flying
like that. Yeah, he was a great drummer. But he was crazy, and he turned everybody on to drugs you shouldn't be doing. So
the no drugs.
Yeah.
Because he told everybody didn't he tell everybody you'd be a better musician if you did heroin?
Yeah,
because that was the jazz.
Dave started because of that. It
was Chris and Gar. And they would go to a gig, sell their stuff. Dave had to go get out of the pawn shop and
Well, I had a prediction they'd be gone though.
This is why I didn't work with Guns N' Roses. Geffen wanted me to work with that band. I mean, but I knew if I was hanging out with them, I'm like 27, 28, and I'd be doing the same thing Slash was doing. So I never got to really, work with Guns. I would see Izzy at a club or whatever, Slash at the club. But like I said, Geffen called me every day sometimes. You got to work with this band. They're going to be big. And I said, I can't because I'd be.
Because peer pressure sucks.
Well, it's also kind of romantic too, right? Because you're in Hollywood and you're, in the mid-20s and, but I just knew better.
Yeah, when in Rome, you know what they say.
Yeah,
they're like the mini Stones of '69. Everybody with the Stones got hooked on heroin. Everybody, Marianne Faithfull, everybody got hooked on heroin. Same thing with Guns. Everybody, Del James, Robert John, they all got hooked on heroin because everybody's doing it. And I don't know if you know a band called Jet Boy. They're a San Francisco glam band, and their bass player Todd Crew got kicked out for doing that. He ends up in L.A. He Slash's roadie, and so. The first time they went to London, they couldn't take Todd with them because it was abusive. And when they came back, they found Todd dead in Slash's floor or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
crazy.
Because you can't, anyway.
Yeah, the crazy. No, it's interesting, though, because it's like nowadays, I find that these young musicians are far more careful about their health than we were back then. We were reckless. Like I never did heroin or anything like that, but we drank a lot and I did a lot of acid.
Well, when you're young, we think we're invincible.
In the 80s, drink.
Oh, yeah. You think you're going to live forever, right?
No, no better.
All right. So this one, Alice Cooper.
Here's another Aquarius.
Yeah. We're on the Aquarius trail today.
So I guess their office called my office and say, this is Raise Your Fist and Yell tour. They're doing a practice show in San Bernardino, way down there someplace. So I called Bob. Bob and this go, we got lost. And this is just before the encore. I get there and Shep's going, dude, you're late. I said, yeah. And so I shot the encore and I just don't. They use copious amounts of stage blood. And so I walked out covered in stage blood. And someone said that this was on Alice's wall for a while. And I got to meet Alice Cooper a bunch of times because of Derek Sherinian. And Derek
what's he like?
Oh, he's a good guy. He's nice. He's normal.
Yeah, nice and sweetheart, eh?
Yeah. He's good. Yeah, it's really
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to the here. Let's do this one. Here we go. Here's Tony Iommi,
Oh, there you
the
go.
Riff Master.
And this is a poor quality, but you can actually see his fingertips. This is during the Born Again tour with Ian Gillan.
Oh,
So what's
that's one of my
happened?
favorite Black Sabbath albums.
And I get kicked out of backstage too on this one.
Why? What did you do?
It's Black Sabbath. What can you possibly do kicked out of Black Sabbath? But what
Exactly.
happened, so at the end of the show, I kind of said hi to Ian because Ian's our favorite singer. And I'm walking with my buddy Stronowski back to the car and said, okay, get ready for this, right? Because Rainbow, Richie broke up Rainbow. So Richie and Roger are gone. John Lord and Pace left Whitesnake. I said, dude, next year you got a Deep Purple reunion. Sure enough. Because I think what Richie is waiting for, Ian to tour the world again. And so he knows Ian's road worry. And so,
Road worry.
Yeah.
Road weary.
Well, worry.
Worry. Yeah. Anyway.
We get it.
So I do like that shot. So
that's a great shot. It's so much fun. Like, I mean, and you've met all these guys, so it's so cool. Like, and so is Tony Iommi really cool too?
Yeah, he's really quiet, and he's very quiet. You know, Ian's more of a loudmouth, but
happy birthday to Ian Gillan this week, by the way. He just turned 82 yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes. Yay.
Wow.
And what did you think about the Richie Blackmore reunion?
It was good. At the end of the set, Richie gives Ian his guitar.
Cool.
And it's like, because Richie's always a jokester, so he still had it. And the next he goes like, you kind of got tall. Because Richie in his surgery and stuff, he's kind of going compact. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was just so great. And that was pretty much his birthday present for him. Like, I thought, he's like, oh, I'm just around the corner from you. Can we gig?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and this one, what is this?
This is Mountain View. And this is, so the encore, Ian and, Roger and Richie would switch guitars. And so as Richie's giving Roger Glover his strat, he's detuning it and like, here, you play with it now. But this is the end of the show. And just great picture of Blackmore. It's just like,
it is.
Yeah.
Right when I saw it, I was like, oh, Richie Blackmore. Yay.
Prime, and it's just, he's looking like Richie. And then I saw him in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Because Blackmore's like the demigod for me. And
wow. So do you follow the Blackmore's Night, or is that
the first album? Yeah. After that, it's Richie's thing. I don't. The last 10 years, I've been to bands that feature female vocalists, but they have to be really powerful. The first one was a band called Desperate Journalists, and they're amazing. And it comes up. They're just gods. They're from England. Then you get Wet Leg with Marianne, and she's amazing. They do festivals and shit. And then the cool one now is called the Nova Twins. Two girls. Georgia Jones has reinvented the bass. No one plays bass like her. She carries the whole band sometimes. A little girl with a big bass. And she has a little... Check them out.
Oh, yeah. No, these all sound like great bands. And I love the fact that you're supporting women. That's amazing. All right. So let's do...
Because it's time to have a female's perspective on life. It really is. I'm so tired of like, God, do this guy. No, let women have a say.
Exactly. The boys club, right?
Yeah.
That's why we're glad you're here, Bill. That's why we're glad you're here. You let us do it with the girls. All right, so we'll do ACDC
I should have met you years ago.
I know, right? Well, and the thing is I met Bill, but we were only chatting on the internet, and so this is our first time actually having a conversation, and I knew we'd hit it off. Yay. Okay, so the next one we've got is, and then we're going to get over to your documentary in a minute. So this one was Bon Scott.
Oh, there you go. I love ACDC. I got a whole collection of imports of ACDC imports and stuff like that.
I'm like 18 learning how to be a rock photographer.
18 and you took this photograph? This is epic.
1979, yeah. And this is the last tour he did in the States too, because
Oh, wow.
He was gone like 5-6 months later.
Oh, really? Oh,
what a great shot, Bill. That's a good one.
You have to get lucky.
That was a
I think you're kind of blessed a little bit too. So this one's great. This one of Angus Young is amazing.
They let me have for a long time, I had access to ACDC photographing wise and stuff. They were too small to hang out with. They're like pint-sized Australians.
Yes,
But,
Funko dolls.
Yeah, they're really small. But it's just good because he moves 1,000,000 miles an hour, and technology back then wasn't as good as it now. So
Right.
you had, and you had to work at that shit to get those photographs. Now it's like I just put my camera, I'm done.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's why we can appreciate you. Is like, I mean, the younger people. Do you get a lot of young photographers asking you for advice?
I get a lot of young everybody, even old everybody.
That's amazing. What's that like?
It's okay. I mean, I have stuff or answers they have questions to. There's a bunch of people in Honolulu that I've mentored for 25 years and stuff.
Amazing.
And some of them are on the world stage now. There's a guy named Ron Ortiz. He's amazing. There's a guy named Mike Love, and he's in the stratosphere. And then tonight, I'm going to miss it. One of my main people I mentored for a long time, Tavana. You want to hear a voice? Look for Tavana. And he just opened a club up, and everybody I know for the last 20 years are going to be there. My photographs are there, so that's great.
Yeah, but you'll be there in spirit. But then,
my photographs are there.
I know.
Yeah.
A little bit of FOMO for you in your late 50s, right? Okay,
60.
so there we 60s. You don't look 60. That's great.
Beautiful.
Steve Clark. Yeah.
That's
Yes,
beautiful.
this is crazy because you're on a magazine staff when you have meetings. Like, what do you need from this gig? Right? Is it a cover, back cover, centerfold? And I'm there to shoot Joe Elliott, right? And I think I got shots of Joe, and then Steve does this 5-minute guitar solo thing, and
Legend.
And I didn't know I had this until I was doing my first book called Power Surge, and no one understood. So I'm going through, and it's like, fuck, this shit's amazing. This is better than Ross Halfin. Fuck you.
Yep, it is. Like, no disrespect to Ross, but I mean, that's a. I actually got to meet Steve Clark when I was 19. I met Phil Collins, Steve Clark, and Joe Elliott backstage in Hamilton, Ontario, and
Nice.
he was really. He was. I went to see them. I was in the front row. Blah blah blah. And somebody gave when I met Steve, his wife or girlfriend was with him. She had her hand firmly planted on his bum the whole time, so we all knew who she was. All right. So last but definitely not least is my favorite picture, which I've actually used in an article, which is my buddy Yuli John Roth.
A place called Wolfgang's. This is his second show on the U.S. tour back in '89. It's crazy. I photographed him. The next day was Gary Moore. No, it was Michael Schenker, then him, then Gary Moore.
Ooh.
Wow.
And Gary
The
Moore.
next day,
That's
the
awesome.
place burns down, and then I'm in LA with Gary Moore, laughing our asses off because I have to bug Ross Halfin because it was me and Ross, and then people in the Bay Area go, "You gotta see Bill's work," and then Ross was scraggly, beardy guy. And he wasn't the best photographer at that time. And my things were way better than Ross. All the bands that I worked with, he started working with later on. And then, Metallica, and you sign contracts and no one else can do this and that. But yeah, hey, Ross.
Actually, he had a birthday this week too.
And the cool thing about being Bill Hale is before Ross Halfin. So my name always comes above Ross's when I did a lot of books. And then I would talk to the people on the book project. I need to give him $1 more than Ross Halfin. Just to piss him off. Yeah.
And now you're a legend.
Yeah, well, he still does it too. And I see Kurt Hammett once in a while. He lives on the island. But Ross is always on the island with him. And then I hang out across the street. They go to a restaurant over here, really posh, and I go to a working class bar. So, and I know
we're gonna have to start hanging out in Honolulu.
Yeah, it's an amazing place. It really is. Some of the bars open in the morning. There's bands everywhere, and so it's kind of cool.
So it has a good music scene then.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, after the pandemic, finally. And the last thing about Ross, I had a buddy who was the head rigger for Metallica forever, and he would always bug Ross. Bill Hale's going to show up one day.
Yeah. So
and then on top of that, I had a gallery show in London in 2010, I think it was. And I was a talk of London for a week. And then the joke was Ross had to open his gallery in Australia.
Yeah, just far enough away to make him relevant.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. So, and do you ever think you're ever going to get back into doing rock photography, or is documentary filmmaking where you're at now?
Well, there's still bands I work with. I have a list of people when I get back to Ireland for my 1 week there that I have to photograph because nobody can do what I do. Sorry, guys.
No.
And so I
that's
do
why
have
you're here first. You're our lucky number one.
But I think documentaries now, that's what I want to do. After this is done, I got 3 other ones to do.
Okay, so let's talk about this one then.
Yes.
Okay, so here we are. This is it. It's called "And Be There: Life and Photographs of Charles Fields." And
it's cut off. It's called F8 and Be There, because as photographer, especially what Charles does, F8 is on your lens, and that's the medium setting for everything. And you have to be there because photographers, you have to be there to do this. And so there's an old saying, F8 and Be There. And Charles, he's crazy motherfucker. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, tell us, okay, how did you end up talking, like, where does Charles Field, because I looked at the photographs that you have done or that he's done, and they're beautiful. Like, he's just done some real mesmerizing stuff, especially with color and angles. So how did you find him? How did that happen?
I have a weekly gig, or I had it in Waikiki. I have a buddy, Henry Capono, who's a fucking certified legend. Really quick, his first band, Seal and Capono, they got signed to the same night, the same record label as Bruce Springsteen. But what they do is Columbia Records gives them a whole lot of cash. They got Bruce Spotnick, who produced The Doors. They got Ethan Russell, who did Let It Be and all that. Columbia gave him tons of stuff, and they gave Bruce nothing. But what happens, what do you do with 2 brown boys in the 70s? Instead of Seals and Croft or Loggins Messina, they go into a Cheech and Chong. Exactly. But they did 3 amazing albums, and then Columbia drops them, and they signed the Vibrators. But Henry's a legendary guy. We were best friends forever. And what happens is I photographed Henry. There's a place called Duke's. It's a Waikiki.
Oh, yeah, I remember you talking about Duke's. I've seen lots of pictures from Duke's.
It's beautiful. It's right on the beach. And during the winter months, the sunset's right behind him. It's magical.
Beautiful.
So I'm doing my weekly gig, and this guy sticks his camera in my face for 2 hours. I go, what the fuck? And then we talked a little bit. And then we kept in touch about 5-6 years ago, because he always goes to he's from here. He always goes to the islands. He goes, hey, I'm here. It's like, okay, but I'm leaving tonight. So we started hanging out a lot, and we did a podcast, and it solidified. So I look at his laptop, and there's the first photograph I see. He did in 1980. He went around the world. Pam Ann used to have a round the world pass. You go one direction, it's free. So he goes from Connecticut to New York to San Francisco to Honolulu, Tokyo to mainland China, which no one goes to China at that time. He got a visa there. And then he has this photograph. 1980, we're pretty advanced. We have all this stuff. They're still in the dark ages. This is 2 guys a donkey pulling his truck full of bricks. And it's fascinating. And then he's in a helicopter in the Arctic Circle photographing reindeer. And then,
Those are beautiful pictures.
And then, hanging out with Muddy Waters, hanging out with Buddy Guy, hanging out with Johnny Hooker. That's, as a kid, and I didn't get to see that. He got to see that. And it's just one banger after next. And so we're hanging out one day. The phone rings. It's a guy named Rowan Sherman. Rowan's one of my biggest heroes of photography. And Rowan, started talking, and Charles goes, hey, you're a legend. No, Rowan goes, no, you're the legend. I'm going, I'm talking to a guy who knows my favorite photographer of all time. And so it just solidified. So it took 2 years just to go through what he had in photographs. And then, there's some good stuff, there's some bad stuff, but I know what I want to see. I know what I want to, there's photographs that are icons. Like there's a Jim Marshall photograph with Mick Jagger and Keith Richards and they're drinking Jack, right? He has the same shot in Cuba. And then there's all these other shots. So I have to find his huge archives and find the shots that represent, well, this is like Bresson, or this is Kirsty Scott. And it's just been crazy. I've curated 3 galleries in Honolulu to great acclaim. And then just, it's a project from hell. And then he has Parkinson's. And so a lot of times.
Right. And now is he in hospice still?
No, he was in rehab twice.
Okay.
And then we're here now. He has a full-time caretaker. His girlfriend's a nurse, so he's well taken care of. But once in a while, I have to hang out with him because he only wants to talk to me. He has this huge house. It's this huge house. It's one part, 3 bedrooms upstairs, full baths, the big kitchen, a big living room, a big dining room, and then from there, I had this huge office space.
Nice.
And then when I first got here, I had to go through everything to find hard drives and this and that, organize everything. And so I'm trying to shoot all this month. I have 2 or 3 people to shoot, and then I have to start scanning all the stuff here. I'll be here until it snows. So
now, so how long has this project? How long has this been your baby?
About 3-4 years now.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
But it is because there's so many photographs involved, and nothing was organized. And there's like hard drives everywhere. You go through. You have to label it. Go through the photographs. And then in the metadata, you put what date it was, where it's at, and then that's really time consuming because I have
I've been curating it, but you're curating the whole thing for him. That's almost like a thank you after the documentary. He'll have it all curated. Yeah,
and then there's a plan to do some gallery shows, and there's 3 or 4 books I need to pull out. There's a music book; it's really great. There's Lou Reed, there's Aerosmith in '73. It's just a lot of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now he was a Deadhead too. Am I right?
Cool.
Kind of, sort of.
I just remember seeing that in the documentary, the little bit.
That guy was Misha Richter. All his friends are monsters, and he gets here, and seriously, they're all legends. And Misha's now doing documentary films. Misha has one called Summer Trip. That 2 years ago, he followed this couple following Dead and Company. And and then his school girlfriend, Chloe Sauvignon.
I know her.
Yeah, and they were high school sweethearts or whatever. And then Misha's big claim to fame, he photographed Amy Winehouse's Back in Black album, or Back to Black album. So Misha, he's really well connected. So he's the one. Charles calls him up. They're hanging out and goes, I saw the Dead at Watkins Glen. Watkins Glen's a legendary Dead show. There's the Allman Brothers. Shut up. Allman Brothers, the Grateful Dead, and the band. And so and he covered it for some paper in New Jersey, and that's where that comes in at.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's more of a blues fan than.
Are you finding that you love film now? That you love documentary filmmaking? Is this something that you could really like? Is this where you belong?
As a kid, you have to make decisions, right? Am I going to be this or that? So I'm going to be a photographer. Then do I do movies or stills? And I wasn't done with still photography yet, and I'm still not. But this is. Charles is an amazing person. His story needs to be told. And everybody I show photographs to him are just fall in love with it. His friends don't know what he has. I just took him to Connecticut for all his old friends. And all his old friends are crazy because that's his basis. Because they are. They had a place called the Geek Whorehouse, okay? This is 72, 73, 74. And every time he's either smoking something or drinking something or doing something, and Charles photographs it, he documents it. His nickname is Crazy Chester. And he photographs everything. And I'm talking to him as like, what you guys let Charles do led him to the big, huge stuff towards the end. He has some great portraits of these legendary Cape Cod people. And no one knows what he has. That cover photograph for the movie, he didn't do it. He had a dog, big black lab Lola. Lola's a big, and he takes her to the beach. And he's trying to photograph her on his iPhone, and it flipped it backwards. So he never saw that photograph until I said, dude, this is it.
This is the one.
Because he trusts me. He knows what I do. So I'm here. We got here in April. He got a bad UTI, so we had to take him up to a place called Hyannis, which is an hour away. The second time I wheel him into the waiting room, so girl goes, "Oh my God, it's Bill Hale!" And he loves the fact that I'm famous, even though I don't think I am, but still.
Well, but you are famous, and you're another underrated, underappreciated. A lot of people are like, who is that? And it's like, today now you've learned, here's what a legend looks like. So there you go.
And it's, on the Aquarius side, I've ditched stardom forever. It's always about the photographs. There's been huge opportunities to me become chief photographer of big, huge magazines in New York, whatever. I'm a California guy. I don't want to go to New York and photograph Bon Jovi with a horse or whatever, right? I don't do that shit. There's so many times I've turned big things away because I don't do that. I like a band. I photographed the band. I sent you one of the Granite Saints, the band in the shadow.
Oh, right. Let me see if I've got that. Hold on a second. If I don't, I can probably. I'll grab it. I'll grab it while when we're watching the trailer. I'll grab it.
Because the important thing for me, being a big fish in a small pond, I'm giving what we call Kuleana. That's your expertise. My Kuleana is photographing bands and telling bands what to do. So what happens is that shot's amazing. They did a blistering set, and it took me longer to get the bass player against the wall than actually. And I think I didn't look through the viewfinder. I knew what he wanted. 3 clicks. I'm starting laughing. I go home. I send it to James. He loves it. And that's what, when you know what you're doing, you can't abuse your opportunity with people. I don't do 4-hour photo sessions. My photo sessions are like, when I got it. And sometimes I do it in 2 shots. Sometimes I do it like in a couple of shots, depending what it is. Yeah, and that one was just totally amazing. I love that shot.
I'm just looking for it right now.
There's
give me 2 seconds.
Called Steve Betos had a band called the Dead Boys, and Sonic Reducer. They're against the wall. It's a fluorescent light, so it's green. And I saw this, and I thought, okay, I can do the same thing, but I do it black and white. Thanks, Steve, wherever you are.
Oh God! Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you I know this is a real cheesy question, but if you had to pick like a favorite muse out of all of these people that you shot, who would it be?
There's 2 of them. They're both named Dave. Dave from Y&T. We were just
Eddie.
Who?
Meniketti, isn't that his last name?
Meniketti. Yeah. Because I've shot them so many times over the years. And the other one's Mustaine. I mean,
of course.
We had a connection. We would sit and talk for a long time. It was just one of those things that we knew. That's amazing. That's like 2 shots and we're done, right?
I love it when that happens.
The band knows what they want. They know who I am. We were friends for a long time, and boom, we're done. It's great. And that's what you want. It's a real rock and roll shot. Anymore, it would be disingenuous.
Right. So you're like a one and done kind of photographer then.
If I see it, sometimes you have to do a little more. I'll have clients that want 3 or 4 different poses. Nick Gertzen, I have Nick's my Swedish brother, and he's a big pain in my ass. I love him. He's a pain in my ass, and he only work with me. And so one day he calls up, let's do a sunrise shot. No, let's not. And he goes, okay, I'll pick you up, and tomorrow morning we go to Kailua Beach, other side of the ocean, the island, and the sun comes up, yay, whatever, and they're amazing photographs. And then we had to do 3 days worth of shooting because he wants this for album cover, this for a poster, and then he goes back to Sweden, and all my photographs up in Sweden, and so
But it's worth it, right? It's a labor of love.
Yeah, I'm really happy that my musical ohana in Hawaii let me do what I do. And then that's happy. I don't have to, I don't prove anything. I have to prove things to myself. I don't prove anything else. I get there, people buy me drinks and shit. I get what I want. I photograph. I go home. I develop them. I send it out to the world. That's why I started my podcast a couple of years ago. Because during the pandemic, I lived in the North Shore in a beach house. Just me.
Bummer.
Just me, chickens, the sand, and the ocean kind of thing. And then I thought, I have all these friends. And so once the pandemic goes, I'll start a podcast. I'll find a bar, and it's really raw. It's called Raw Like Sushi. I put the camera on a tripod, turn it on Facebook, and just go with it. And that's really fun because everybody's seen photographs of these people. Now you can actually hear them talk and have me, throw stupid ass questions out to them.
Which is great. Rexy, do you have anything to say? We're just Rex.
Oh, I think he basically said so much.
Isn't he awesome? I told you he was awesome. It's like I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Now, here's the great thing about being me. There's a guy named Paul Bailoff, or it was Paul Bailoff.
Paul Bailoff from Exodus.
Yes, I knew Paul for a long time. And I was the only one because I gave Elegans the first color photograph. I put Blackie Laws on a cover before anybody else did. I gave first things to Poison. I love the glam bands and the metal bands. And I was the only person who could walk in and talk to Bailoff, and he didn't give a shit. Because if you're a glam, he would kill you. Or he'd go, "Come on, both of us die." You know? And so I was really fortunate that always, Bailoff thought it was cool.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of legends too. Now, okay, so do you want to set up this trailer, or shall we just let it roll?
You let it roll.
Okay, let it roll, and then we'll come back to it. Okay, everybody, this is trailer number 2. If you want to watch all 3 of his trailers, I did a pre-show video yesterday. Check it out. It's about 15 minutes worth of trailers. Lots of good stuff if you want to get to know this as we do it now. Another thing that's going to come up is Bill is going to have a Kickstarter / GoFundMe. I will have the link available. I will add it to this interview. We just had a couple of technical things we needed to do with it today, but we'll have it up for sure by the end of the day. Yes.
Is that funny for me to go to Hale?
Yeah, here it goes.
Okay, here we go. So enjoy the trailer.
Hi, aloha, Bill Hale here, and I want to share with you some photographs from my upcoming documentary on Charles Fields, F.A. Be There Life and Photographs of Charles Fields. These are some of the first photographs I've seen of Charles Fields. They're pretty incredible. The diversity of the location, of the access he gave himself, it's pretty mind-blowing. In a helicopter, in the Arctic Circle, photographing reindeer in Finland, hanging out with Muddy Waters, hanging out with John Lee Hooker, hanging out with Ansel Adams, on top of the St. Peter's Basilica, one-on-one of the Statue of Liberty. It's pretty crazy what he's done. The next set of photographs for Charles is his 70s portfolio. He photographed everything he could, all in black and white. He developed his own photographs. Luckily for Charles, he had a bunch of friends that let him stick his camera in their face and photographed almost everything they did. Lucky for me, I got to interview most of these people for the documentary. These are really good portraits. This portrait of Kenny King just is amazing. So in 1980, Charles purchased a Pan Am Round World Pass, which meant in one direction you would go for free. So he ended up Connecticut to San Francisco, Honolulu, Tokyo, mainland China. He did this trip 3 times around the world, getting some amazing photographs all on chrome. These photographs are all in that time period. In photography, there's a term called the decisive moment. Charles captures that ideology perfectly in these 2 images. I'm going to stop talking and let the photographs speak for themselves. My advice is play this again, put it on mute, and just watch the photographs. Hope you like it. Comments are welcome. Like and share, please. I can't wait for the next one. Thank you, guys. Aloha.
Yay! That's so good, Bill. It's so good. Those pictures are so beautiful.
And then you just think about it. For every one of those, there's like 300 before that.
Oh, he's not like you. He takes lots of photographs.
Yeah, well, depends what it is. Sometimes it's like one or two. Sometimes it's a lot of them. And then I just know what I want. So when he used to hang out with me, and I'd go through, and he's like, "That's kind of fast," but I know what I want to see. I know what the world wants. I'm a big student of photography. Since I was a kid, I look at photographs. I can tell you what a Neil Preston shot is, or whatever, a Finn Costello shot. That's what you're supposed to do. And then it was just taking that together with this. And the other thing is, he would shoot in your digital, you shoot raw. And then at the time, 10 years ago, Photoshop was okay. But now I get to put it to a brand new Photoshop filters. And I know what's going to happen. I know this guy's going to do this. The background will be like this. And it's crazy because my thing is, no one around now has ever heard Beethoven when Beethoven conducted. So it's up to the conductor to, so me, I do this, I do that for Charles. We'll sit together once a week, everything we've done, and he'll look at it. And, 9 times out of 10, maybe 99% of the time, he likes what I'm doing. So that's the good part about that.
That's great. Why did you pick him? Was there a reason why you chose him?
He's a crazy motherfucker.
You just went through a list?
No. We were buddies, right? We were and we were hanging out a lot. He loves Honolulu. We'd hang out a lot. And one day, on a Sunday, I got done seeing Henry, and I'm sitting on his lanai, and we're about to. We did a podcast 3 years ago, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I can, because he was going to donate all this shit to the University of Arizona, and I said, let me look at everything first, and it was mind blowing the stuff he had. Okay, let's do this. Okay, he's a photographer, of course, right? He's also a painter. He's a publisher. He's published some amazing books of his and other people. A real estate developer. He's a scuba diver. He's an adventurer. The guy doesn't stop. He's classic ADD. And until he was 70, he was nonstop. You see his passport. He's in Cuba. He's in here. He's in there. And then, like the St. Peter's Basilica shot, right? He's there, and then there's a door. It just opened just a little bit, right? He walks in, ends up to the top, and he's photographing this shit. The Statue of Liberty. I
love that one. That's beautiful.
He's talked his way to the Statue of Liberty, which is another crazy story. The man, he's a photographer. He's a people photographer.
Is he a good storyteller?
Pardon?
Is he a good storyteller? Like, is the way you are with your stories?
That's why I'm doing it, because I said, I built this great photograph. So what's your inspiration? I was there. I took the photograph. Everything. No, because over the last 15 years, I had to learn to articulate everything. And then when the Metallica book came out, I'm going, okay, I know these guys personally. I know Kirk. I know Dave. I have to be able to say things that nobody's going to get pissed off at. The first time I saw Hammett in a long time, maybe like 10 years ago, he's walking down a street, and I see him. I stop. He goes, "Hey, Bill, I saw your book."
You sound like him.
And I've known him forever. And I said, I hope you liked it. I had to be so, because I know Dave and I know Cliff. I know everybody. So, and there's that one picture in the book with Cliff, Dave, and the girl in the middle.
Okay.
That's
That's
Rebecca Hammett. So when Metallica, this is great. Metallica moves up, they say with a guy named Mark Whitaker. Mark was X's manager. And so they kicked X's out of the house, and Metallica moved in. Of course, sorry, Rebecca. I talk to her a lot now. Rebecca started dating Mustaine. She dubbed Kurt for Mustaine.
Now, isn't Rebecca was Kirk's first wife? Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about this. Yeah.
Yeah, we hung out for a long time. We talked a lot. We talk a lot now today, because that's. And I was always kind of leery to send her the photo. And she's saying it, but she goes, boys will be boys, because Dave would turn around in the interview and say, "How does my fingers taste, Kirk?"
Yeah, I know. Or how do I taste? Yeah, I know. Yeah. I remember that.
That was just, but that was the last photograph I put in the book. But look at Cliff. Cliff's amazing in there. You can tell how close we were, because that's,
a lot of fun. So now what is your plan from here? You're going to be in Cape Cod till when, and then you're going back to the Big Island?
No, I live in Honolulu on Oahu, the middle island. Yeah.
Oahu, that's where Mark Zuckerberg is, isn't he?
No, Zuckerberg's on Maui someplace or Kauai.
Okay.
I don't know.
Where the rich people are.
Oprah, Larry Ellison, they all own half the islands now. I'm not too sure. I got to go back because I have people to photograph and commitments and shit like that. And then I'd be here until I'm done scanning. My daughter's kicked me out of my studio, so I'm homeless.
Reese.
Yeah, Reese and Aisley. And Aisley's 24 now.
Wow. I remember when they were little.
Yeah, you saw all them growing up and shit. They were my rock stars photograph. We would walk. Stop! I gotta take a photograph.
That's amazing. So you're doing this till it cools off, and then you're not gonna bear the snow. You're gonna go home.
I don't know yet. I don't know. There's some factors. I have to finish scanning all this stuff, and technically, this studio's been a sanctuary for me. So I may stay here.
Yay! Well, then we're on the same timeline again. We're on the same timeline.
Yeah, I have some old friends. Hey, we're in the same time zone. It's like, wow. Yeah. But I have 3 of the docs. You know 2 of them, and one's a personal friend of mine. I don't want to say anything. I haven't got the contracts yet, so I can't say much.
Okay, so you can't say anything.
Yeah.
When you do, though, when you do, let us know so that I can put it up there.
Yeah, I want to be able to. This is so label intensive. It's really crazy because there's photographs that haven't been categorized or seen in years. So that's why it's taking so long. The other ones are easy. You just have a crew. I'm getting a crew finally, and they go in, they scan everything. We do timely, we write the whole timelines and stuff, and then I go in and direct everything. And I'll probably, if I can, I want to edit everything here in Cape Cod. Sorry, Honolulu.
But you were saying to me yesterday that all the soundtrack people are in Hawaii, though, right?
Yeah, I have Honolulu's amazing for everybody. So I'll shout out Johnny Helm, who got a Grammy recently, and he has a couple of Emmys. He's a soundtrack king. He's one of my favorite. But and then Locke Lynch, who's a sound engineer from Hale, he has awards too. And then we talk, and you can take, because Charles can't talk loud right now or at all. And so he can do all that stuff, the faders, all that stuff. So that's fine. We're covered there. I just want to edit over here and put things together. I kind of like it here. It's quiet.
Yeah.
And there's no distractions. Hold on. I'm going to piss somebody off, but there's really no eligible single women around here.
Oh!
And so that's kind of a good thing. I don't have to. And then this house is 6 miles from town. It's 40 miles from shopping. So it's been really nice. You know,
no distractions.
No distractions. I'm here 12 hours in the seat sometimes. I walk around. The bad thing is, who's this?
Who is it?
It's Charles. He's in the next room.
He's probably telling you to shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a nice place, you know, and it feels like home, feels like sanctuary. There's enough office space here. It's crazy to put up stations here and there. I just happen to be, and he's crazy. He likes to demo everything.
Yeah, look at that. Oh my God.
I love things going. Hold on, this is gonna be fun. Oh, too late.
Too late. You call him back.
No. He's over there. It's probably lunchtime or something like that. So it's been really fun here. It's totally different from Honolulu. The weather's absolute bonkers. Yesterday was kind of nice. Today's cold and overcast. The bad thing is there's spiders and what do you call that? Mosquitoes everywhere.
Mosquitoes. Welcome to mosquitoes.
You're all by the water over there.
It's been good, but my arms are all, because I do the yard work. I'll get pissed off. I'll mow the lawn or trim things like that.
Yeah. Lavender oil works, right? Lavender oil keeps the mosquitoes off. They can't stand the smoke.
Something like that. I bought those blue things that zap all them at night and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You're getting there. Welcome to that.
B complex vitamin every day.
Yeah. Oh, you wouldn't believe how many vitamins I take a day. Being 65 isn't easy.
You don't look 65. Holy smoke. Wow, that was fast, eh? That means I've known you since you were 45. Wow.
Yeah.
So wow. Crazy.
You saw the photographs of the kids growing up. You knew Terry.
Yeah, I remember. Yep.
And towards the end, Hannah was in college. Jamin was in high school. Aisley was in middle school and Reese was in elementary school. So we had the whole, and no one was ever late. Terry found this perfect house. We were like just a mile away from the high school, half a block from and it was really fun. It just, we started not seeing eye to eye.
Yeah. But that's, but she always had your best interest at hand. She was very professional with me. And, you couldn't have asked for a better partner to raise your children with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Say all sorts of good things. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to keep you if you're still busy.
Kind of. But
well, we've been on for an hour. I figure an hour, Bill Hale's time's worth billions.
Yeah. Just let me know the rebroadcast and stuff like that, and we'll go from there.
Oh yeah, well, no, I mean, we're live right now on Twitter, X, and Facebook, and then I'll just repost it on YouTube.
Okay.
Awesome. So everything goes. Yeah, so it's been going live for an hour. So we actually have people watching. I can see their numbers coming up. So that's cool.
But the main thing is, I've turned down for the last year. I've turned down so many projects just to make sure I focus. And then we started talking last couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
I said, sure, we can do that. It'd be fine because I trust you.
Yes, you can trust me more than anybody. You know that. As you said about me, I'm one of the good people.
And you've mellowed out with age.
Have I?
Yeah. Sometimes you're just kissing vinegar and stuff. Like,
yeah. Well, I had a cross to bear, and I still kind of do. But well, eventually, it's just to a point now where it's like it's my word against theirs, and proof's in the pudding. And I mean, people want to say whatever they want, but I believe the truth will reveal itself, and it will. And then when it does, it's going to be an excellent movie, right?
Yeah.
But no, Bill, you and I have always been friends, so I guess I have mellowed out a little bit, sure. I don't know.
We all do. I mean, you have to. You can't be crazy when you get into older age because no, even Keith Richards mellowed out, and he laughs at everything now. So it's
exactly. Yeah. And I mean, I love not drinking. It was the best choice I ever made. So I mean, I wish I'd done it earlier. So because now I'm just nothing's worse than a woman over 50 who's drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I knew that.
Anybody over 50 drunk is kind of
sad. It just is sad. So so thank you so much, Bill. That was a total blast. And like I said, we're going to put the GoFundMe Kickstarter up on here, and we'll make sure that we keep promoting it for you. And I can't wait to see it when it's finished.
Awesome. I can't either. So
I'm totally
thank you guys. Thank you so much. It was so much
thank
fun.
you. You're our first guest. It's a good luck guest.
Yeah, I don't do this very often.
No, I know.
There was a time there was every other week kind of thing, but now this I need to do this and then hang out with Charles, see what he needs and stuff. So
you got tag teamed by 2 women.
Yes, and
there you go. And you're 65, tag teamed by 2 women. Yay!
Yay!
Only Mick Jagger can say that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, all right. Thanks, Bill. And you have I'll send you an email in a few minutes. But thank you, and I'll send you the link for everything. Awesome. Thanks, Bill. You're a star.
You. All right.
Thank
Aloha.
you. Aloha. Yay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.